Hello everybody, Frankie Day here for Frankie Day Models. Okay fellas, for this joyous evening, I have video number 2 for the Recon group build by Rob of Basic Modeling. This would be video number 2 on my Vacuform kit 1977, HAWKER Sydney, MR1, Nimrod. Okay guys, I almost got this thing wrapped up. There's not much to this Vacuform kit. I built this thing strictly just out of the sheets. No extra parts at all. Just right out of the sheets. Regular kits are out of the box, but Vacuform kits come in these sheets, so that's why I said right out of the sheets. Okay, enough of that jazz. Alrighty. Now I love this Nimrod right here. This is the second time I built this thing before. And it shouldn't present no problem to anybody who has never had no experiences with Vacuforms. But you got to make quite sure, guys, you know, like I mentioned this a lot of times on the Vacuform group of Vacuform builds I've been doing, is that the fuselage and the wings got to be reinforced by using spars and ribs and also formers as well. I've actually did 2 live action videos. Two live action videos of doing a Vacuform kit of this a Nimrod. Then I was browsing through the YouTube land and ran across Rob of Basic Modeling. He had a Recon group build, and I like to participate in group builds. You know, I've been a lone eagle too long, and I'm pretty much on my own, and I like to be able to get involved with the group builds that I can join in with, and I can have something I can work with you guys too, and in comparison of the same, using the same model or whatever the scheme of the group build may be. Okay, and no chatter. Now let's get back to business. Okay, still got work to do. Here she is. This is my HAWKER. This is my HAWKER Sydney MR1 former plane Vacuform kit. Now this thing is a nice kit. It goes together quite well. There's a lot of difficulties in building this sometimes because it's an old kit, and I had to put extra formers in the wings and everything and such. I'm going to put some. I got some tubing I'm going to put inside here. I'm going to paint them red. Actually, they're guards. They're exhaust. They're exhaust safety shields that keeps the dust and birds getting in there. And the same thing for to the intakes up here also as well. They're going to be all painted red there too as well. And the undercarriage is pretty dire, but it's right from the kit and everything. I got my retraction oleos. Here's the oleos right here. Actually, these are your bogies. So you got retraction struts I'm going to make. I'm going to give a little extra detail there. Add to this thing. This is old. It's dated 1977. I got more decal work to do on this thing. This thing did have a decal sheet that came with it. But during the passage of time, fellas, it got lost. I don't know where it's at. I'm not going to hunt for it because it's an affinity. It's gone. So actually what I'm going to do is I got some decal paper. I got red and blue, dark paper, decal paper I have. But I can paint. I can actually cut out little rectangles and add them in here to act like the Union Jack on here, the Union on here, the signature they had. And the round ones here is only right here. Because as a matter of fact, there'll be a number up here too. It'll be 62, I think, and I'm put on there. Now, The Airfix kit's a lot more different than this one. It's got the fueling probe that comes up here. This is built exactly as I received the kit before applying Vacuforms. It has no refueling probe on it. This is probably the first version of this before they refitted it and modified it completely during its lifetime in the Royal Navy. These are very beautiful airplanes. The MR1 came from the de Havilland Comet. HAWKER City. It came from there. I think they still use these things today. I'm quite sure they do. I know darn well they do. They're a beautiful airplane. They're such a pretty plane. I gotta add the wheels. I got the maskings over here I gotta remove. On the starboard side of the fuselage over here. Oh. I got the tires. Here. These wheels are good. I cut out the shapes, sanded them flat on sandpaper, glued them together, sanded them well, got rid of the seams. They have to be painted. After they get painted, install them so she has some wheels to take off on and land. And I got to finish up the decal work on her. And once the decal work is finished, I'm going to go ahead and remove these maskings on here, the starboard side of the fuselage. I just showed you that a couple seconds ago. Then I go ahead and start painting the intake shields, also exhaust shields, red in there. And have the tubing back there and cap it off. And no stencils came in this kit. Just that's all it is. What you see is what you got right here. But it's the only one of this type that was ever produced. Back in the 1970s, you know, they came out with this thing in 1977. This is brand new. So I bought two of these things. The first one I had came out really nice. I mean, it really did. What I did, I cut out the wheel wells in here, and I boxed them in, and I saved the bogies. The bogies, the kit, they're Vacuform, but they come out nice. But remember, you got to flat. You got to sand them nice and flat, and check that flash all the time. And you got to line them up again. It's like testing, it's fitting of the parts. Vacuform kits, there's a lot of sanding, but they're the gateway to scratch building. That's one thing that's wonderful about having Vacuform models, because they give you much more than just a model itself. Because the model itself basically is nothing but a shell. That's all you get. You get these big old long carrier sheets, and they're Vacuform. Then you got to cut them out, sand them, Vacuform, and glue them together. Then you glue them together, and they come out like this when you're all done, like I did this one. Now, if I decided to delve in a little deeper, I would have put a full interior inside this thing, and I really would detail it out. I would have boxed in the landing gear like I did in the first one, and I did a lot of other work on it. But I had no fueling probe on it. Same thing it says. There's no fueling. There's no fueling. No fueling probe. It's just an earlier model of it, 1977. I put about 5 coats of white paint on this thing. The whole plane was painted completely, totally white. 5 coats, 5 light coats. You don't want to get lay it on and get heavy because you present runs. You don't want no runs. Using a ravel can, that's what I used. Then the gray, I airbrushed. But you don't want to get too crazy, you know, with the ravel can. A lot of guys get close, woo, like that. Pretty soon you get a big old run. You got just mix it out. It's like taking a spritzer. When you lay that paint down, it will fog it over. You just keep on laying the coats on. Like my beautiful, no runs. Okay, that's enough of the Nimrod. So this is video number 2 for the Recon group build that Rob Basic Modeling is a host and puts group build on. And I believe from the video, he stated it's about the end of March. So March is coming up next week. It'll be March. So he got 4 weeks till it's all done. And he gave you, get a hold of Rob, you know, like, because he likes to have pictures of the builds posted on his page. So he gives you his email address. You get a hold of him, and just go ahead and unload your files and send it to Rob, and he'll post them on his videos for the updates of the group build. So far, I've seen some very interesting subjects on there that I had no idea that were recons. And I had no idea that this here Nimrod was a recon. I said, no, wait a second now. This thing's a maritime patrol bomber. And we do more than hunt submarines down. We like to know what's out there. So that's why they take pictures. So anything with a camera on, it's a recon job. Could be a B-17. Could be a Hellcat. Who knows? Okay, it's enough of that. Alrighty, now I got something going on right now. I think it'd be a pretty good thing to do. I like to start a group build here. I've already got an excellent subject for a group build. Instead of having bombers and fighters and stuff like that, something that's that was very good for the human eyes of helping mankind. I'm thinking about starting a group. I'm thinking I'm going ahead and start a group build. It's give it about 3 months, and it's called the Berlin Airlift group build. You can have a DC-3, C-54 Skymaster, Avro York, Hastings, any kind of a transport aircraft that was used at that time. So I went ahead and I entered on mine, I will have a video of that probably posted probably by tomorrow night. I've already got started on it, so I'll just give you a sneak preview of how much Frankie Day's got done before I get down to business here. Now I bought about 4 of these. I got about 4 of these in my stash. This is no stranger to nobody. I think everybody in our YouTube community has probably got one of these in a stash. It's probably even built one too. But me, this is a second go around for me. I got the other one. It's getting busted up really bad, and it got broke. And it's my own darn fault. I had it in harm's way. So this thing's big. Even 1/72 scale, it's a sizable model. So these big jobs I got, you got to make sure they're out of your way because they get in your way because they're big. You're big, it's big. So one of you going to get each other's way, someone's going to get broke. It's going to be this. So I learned a very valuable lesson, so I paid penalty for being stupid. So this time I'm going to go there no more. But anyway, this is my second time around, and I think it'd be an excellent candidate for my group building to start. Let's go to the Berlin Airlift. And it could be any scale, it could be anything. Anything. Just got to research out the history it was used. I just know just the ones I named off, ones I know that they used. They probably used Lancasters too. I'm not quite sure they probably used Lancs. Load them things up. I really don't know. It's got to be investigated. I mean, researched. Okay, that's about it. So, anyway, oh yes, I forgot the most important part. Now, I spent about 4 days doing this. This is on my group that I got started on. This is my Skymaster C54. This is much I got done on it. It took a long time to get that cockpit going on there. There's a lot going on in that cockpit and everything. So I built this pretty much like I did the other one. You can see the bunks right there where they go in. You want to see a good Skymaster movie? Watch an old movie with Montgomery Clift and Paul Douglas called The Big Lift. You'll see a beautiful Skymaster. The whole thing was filmed inside the action on the real airplane. The real Air Force crews were the actors of the movie, and they flew this thing. Very beautiful stuff. A lot of detail inside. You guys can see the detail there. It's pretty aesthetic in there. Okay, now I want to show you guys something. This camera doesn't do justice, but the camera behind me over here will make the final reveal in other videos. It'll pick up a lot more better detail than that Cadence camera up here does. Anyway, I got the side of the fuselage all done. I mean, I got the transparency. The way this thing's engineered, it's like it works like it's like a shell. You got your inner shells that fit right inside here like this. They fit in like this, and it's sandwiched in between the fuselage halves. I went ahead and put masking fluid in there, magic mask in those windows anyway. Inside are the glazings. I went ahead and airbrushed aluminum anyway in there. That'll make sure it's sealed good. And so I got masking on so I can go back over again. So I got both fuselage halves. I got to put some wash on the cockpit green in there. But it came out pretty good. I mean, it's good detail inside there. I should have showed you guys the inside of it before I wrap up the fuselage, but it's all there. Now, something I want to show you. If anybody's got this kit, you notice these here. These go floor bench nettings. I assembled a bunch of these. They come in the kit. These little jobs here is where they sit down on. Skymasters back in 1948 and 49 during the Berlin Airlift didn't have those. It's because they took them out of there. They stripped out. They pulled out all the chairs out of there. They pulled out all the floor bench nettings out of there. They got them out of there because they needed all the space they could. Every nook and cranny and space within reason to keep the center of gravity of this airplane to fly. With a load master on there. With that load master loading up, makes supervising all the guys, all the coolies, all these people who are loading up all the goods and stuff like that, unloading. Every crane in the aircraft had to be perfectly packed up. You couldn't have no obstacles. If you had those 4-bench nettings in the way, ain't no way you can be able to load all that stuff because the bottom of it is shackled to the floor, to the to the flight deck. The flight deck itself, so you had to pull them out of the deck, and they don't, and they just sit there. So they had to pull them out of there, along with the chairs. Then after the war, they turned back to the civilian, and they use them as passenger planes, and also their continued use throughout the 1960s. And so this Skymaster here is going to be the Korean. It's going to be the Berlin Airlift version. So I think it'd be a pretty good deal to have, humanitarian wise, you know. Because I tell you one thing, that goes to shows you guys what socialism does. Socialism and liberalism destroys nations. You look at Germany. Everybody believed in this knucklehead. And this guy here is supposed to, he had everybody, all their minds swayed that this is how it's going to be and it's going to be wonderful. But let the poor nation, put the nation in ruins. I mean, after the war, they had no military, no government, no nothing. A nation that can be taken over by any sovereign nation without a whimper. It's terrible. So those people were starving to death, so you can't let people starve. I mean, I think that's the most greatest act in humanitarian wise that ever was done in the history of man. Is helping people across the pond who needed food to eat. We had children and babies, and just starving. Their houses were pummeled, wrecked, ruined, living nothing but a nightmare made in hell. And they had no food, no nothing that they just a blessing of God that they're alive. And so we help these people, and they know it, and they still love everybody for what we did for them. And everybody did it. They even did it. They went in, and the United Kingdom, they went in and they helped more than we did, and they were there. They were our foes one time, yes, but you know they're casualties of war. But they're people, you know. They didn't ask for that kind of war. But it was a good thing. I think it'd be a good route for them. Anyway, just rambling, guys. Anyway, this is the conclusion of video 2 for Rob Basic Modeling's Recon group build of my Vacuform kit 176 and scale MR1 HAWKER Sydney Nimrod. And the next video of this will be video number 3, it'll be the final reveal. And I got to get some pictures posted up to Rob on his page. Oh yes, also before I close off, I'd like to make a special shout out to Mr. John Parker, who lives in England, and a great friend. He's a great man, and I love his channel because he's a bit like me. He knows a lot about stuff that he's very notable for. You know, especially his Airfix and his Matchbox history of these kits. He's researched it all out, different eras of the years that these kits came out and everything. It's very interesting, you know, because there's stuff there I didn't know about. I knew nothing about Airfix until 1963 came in, and man, I really loved them. I still do. I think everybody loves Airfix. I think everybody was raised with Airfix. I know I was. So anyway, that's that. So my special shout out to Mr. John Parker. Mr. John Parker has sent me, from the love of his heart, 2 bullfinches. These are birds. Airfix ancient Airfix kits. And he did a marvelous job on these both. These are lifelike model bird finches. They're about like that. Finches are very small birds. They're about the size of a sparrow, maybe a little smaller. But you know, the detail that he did was amazing. And believe me, no breakage. And they were neatly on a perch. Not only one bullfinch, 2 of them. You had the male and the female. And there's on the perch right there, just like this, sitting just like he had it on his video. So I got them on my wall over there next to my pictures of my wife. And I got a picture of Jesus over there, and it's right over there in the corner. So I thank you, John, very much for those bull pictures there, sir. I'm very, very honored to you. It's a very wonderful thing you did for me, you know, and stuff like this means a lot to me. It really does. Because, you know, it makes me happy. And thank you very much, sir. So anybody that's interested in, I mean, I really enjoy the videos, go listen to John Parker's, his YouTube channel, and you go there and look at all the Airfix kits. He narrates everything, tells the history of art. And believe me, it's very inspiring. It makes you want to dig that old Airfix kit out and build it, you know? We're all inspiration here, fellas. That's what keeps the hobby going. Okay, is it for me? Is it for the MR1? Is it for the C54? Is it for the Hellcat? And is it for me? And so please stay posted. This Saturday on the final reveal for the HAWKER City Nimrod, for the completion of build 1/1 out of 2 for raw basic modeling Recon group build. Okay, this is Frankie Day signing off for Frankie Day Models. You guys take care of yourselves and God bless you. And we'll catch you this Saturday at the final reveal. And I have a little live action on my on the C54 Skymaster. So be sure, if you guys, it's okay. You know, if you guys don't got too much going on, before I sign off here right now, I get it off my chest when I'm thinking about it. But I won't forget. So those of you got too much to do, you don't have to participate. Don't worry about it. I mean, those of you that say, hey, yeah, that'd be a good idea. I got an Admiral York I could throw in. Heck, I got a decent C54 I could throw in. Hell, I got even a short Sunderland I could throw in. There you go. These are short Sunderland too. They did. Use those. And probably Catalina Klein boats too. PPYs. They did those too. PVMs. Yes, they used them too. So a lot of food, a lot of planes for thought. Okay, Frankie Day signing off. Frankie Day Models. God bless you guys. Make mama happy. Take care of the little ones. Spin wisely. Stay focused when you drive. And please wear a mask. This stuff's about gone, guys. This virus is burning itself out like a fart in the wind. And everything will be back to normal. Let's pray and hope so. And so please be aware of your surroundings when we go out and be careful. Catch you guys in the final reveal. Frankie Day signing up for Frankie Day Models. We'll catch you guys later. Bye, boys. God bless you all.